Hello, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the live webinar today. Thanks for joining American Business Systems to learn more about starting a medical billing business. I can see there's lots of folks checking in right now. The attendee list is starting to come through, so we certainly appreciate everyone joining us today. And Trudy, I see your note there. Thanks for sending a message in. Joining us from Midlothian, Virginia. Glad to have you here, Trudy. And loads of other people are coming into the webinar right now. We'll give just a minute or two for everyone to show up so that we can make sure all of this great information is going to be heard by everyone who wants to hear it. Before we jump into the webinar, just a little bit of housekeeping. Obviously, Trudy already found the Q&A panel. But I would call your attention, if you look at your Zoom controls, there's a Q&A button in your control panel, and you should be able to ask questions right inside that control panel. Murtala, thank you. I appreciate you sending a message in. It's good to know that my microphone's working and hopefully my background is coming through and it's not reversed. I had that happen once. Sometimes these Zoom meetings don't go according to plan. We would love to hear from you in the Q&A panel as we go through this webinar today. Feel free to put your questions inside of that Q&A panel because we are going to address your questions as we move through these slides and the content that we're going to present. Today, we're talking about how to choose the right partner for your new healthcare business. And we've got a lot of ground to cover because we have a lot of amazing partners here with American Business Systems. Looks like we've had a few more people just join us. And again, we appreciate you being here. Let me introduce myself. My name is Jason Pettit. I am the VP of Business Development for American Business Systems. I have been with American Business Systems for 16 years. In fact, this fall, I'll celebrate my 17th anniversary. By far, my longest part of my career has been with American Business Systems. I come from a mortgage background, and for those of you who are familiar with the mortgage industry, you can probably guess what year I got out of the mortgage industry. It was the housing disaster of 2008 with the subprime mortgage crisis, and thankfully American Business Systems was there and had a position available, and I made the very fortunate move from the mortgage industry to the healthcare industry. One of the things that appealed to me quite a bit when I joined American Business Systems almost 17 years ago was it's a family-owned business. So moving into healthcare was great. Moving into a smaller corporation that's family-owned and operated was awesome. And I get the benefit of working with my friends and family, which isn't that kind of the dream. And so I get to experience that each and every day. Also, I am a certified franchise consultant. And what in the world does that mean? Well, I got my certification through a company called FranServe, and you can look up FranServe on the internet. They're a great franchise consulting organization. We work with them all the time. They refer a lot of clients to us who are looking into the franchise industry and trying to find a franchise business that's going to work well for them. In fact, American Business Systems has won awards in the franchise industry. In particular, last year we won the Top 100 Game Changers Award that Franchise Dictionary puts out. You can see the CEO of FranServe there, who also manages Franchise Dictionary magazine, Alicia Visconti. She's awesome. She's one of my favorite people in the world. We got this designation last year, and we're certainly proud to work with FranServe consultants. I would like to introduce my co-host for the afternoon. We have been best friends since elementary school. I've known him almost my entire life. He is a published author. He's written articles for BC Advantage Magazine and many others. He is a published author with a brand new book talking about revenue cycle management and 9 ways that doctors let money slip through their fingers. And I'd like to welcome to the webinar Adam Phillips, our American Business Systems CEO. Welcome, Adam. Thanks for being here and joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jason. I'm glad that we were able to get together and share all this great information with all you folks on the webinar today. Yeah, like Jason said, I am the CEO of American Business Systems, and this book that I wrote in conjunction with one of our partners in the business, Vicki Rackner. She's a retired surgeon. She has a lot of insight in this book, as well as myself, that is providing information to doctors to help them just kind of understand what's really going on in their revenue cycle. You know, their revenue cycle, there's all kinds of points of potential failure in collecting their money from patients and from insurance companies. And if they're not doing every single point of that revenue cycle the right way, they're losing money. And they are losing money left and right because they're not very good at running the business side of things, should we say, in their practice. They really just want to practice medicine is what they want to do. So if you can help educate them with this book and some of the other books that we've written, that's exactly what we've written these books for, is so that you can give them to doctors to help them learn how to improve their practice, whether they do business with you or not. So that, you know, builds your credibility as, you know, much more of someone who is a consultant for the doctors, instead of someone who's just a salesperson trying to sell them something that they don't know if they really need or not, you know. So that's why we wrote that book. Like Jason said, this is a family business. My parents, here's a picture of them. They actually started ABS way back in 1994. So we've been doing this for 28 years now. This is our 28th year anniversary, and we are just going strong. We've had a very strong past couple of years, even through COVID. This business opportunity is one of the most COVID-friendly businesses that you can start, to be honest. Everything that you do from start to finish can be done remotely and done online now. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as we go here. But yeah, we're excited. Let's see. So one of the main things that's going to be setting you apart from other people out there that are offering medical billing, which we're going to get into many reasons why you're going to be set apart. But the technology for medical billing and getting medical billing done and medical record systems, it's really kind of changed a lot since the 90s. There are some companies that are still using software that was built in the 90s and only runs on certain, you know, Windows computers, and it's not integrated with other medical record systems. It doesn't have, you know, telehealth built in. So we have a lot of exclusive features with this cloud-based platform that we call iClaim, and the medical record system we call EMRX, but it's very tightly integrated. You can see that it runs on any of these devices that can get on the internet. We're big Apple fans, so that's why this screenshot is all Apple products, but it will run on any PC computer, any Mac computer, any browser, any tablet, you know, iOS devices, Android, Windows, you name it. So iClaim and EMRX is almost always the best option for, you know, the practices that you're going to be speaking with. So we might touch on that a little bit more as we go. We also certify you as what we call a certified medical revenue manager. So part of what you get when you invest with ABS is we actually train you and certify you. And so when you finish our training, the certifying board that issues you your certification is called MERMA, the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. It's an organization that I helped start so that our owners have an organization to point back to if anybody asks them about their certifications and want to know a little bit more. They can point them back to the merma.org website that we have. So that's what we've done for you there. This is you may have seen this on our website, our old website, and our new website that we're going to show you some screenshots. But this is going to be some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about today. These right here, these services, these are what are absolutely without a doubt going to set you apart from other people out there that are doing this kind of stuff. And so we're going to get into this right now and kind of start talking about it. But Jason, did you want to talk a little bit about the new website?
I'd love to talk a little bit about the new website. We just rolled this out in the last week or so. We're super proud of it, and we hope that it gives everyone a great experience to learn more about American Business Systems and starting a business like this. For those of you who have been looking at American Business Systems for more than a few weeks, you were probably very used to the old website. Rest assured, just about everything is still there. But one new thing that I'd like to call everyone's attention to is now you can get access to a brand new document. It's our 5 secrets to success. And if you click on the link in the very top right of our main page at absystems.com, you can fill out a form, 5 secrets to the medical billing success, and that will be delivered to your inbox. So you can check that out. A lot of great information in that document. I think Patrick and Adam collaborated on that one to put some new pizzazz onto some of the different aspects of starting a successful business like this. So if you haven't already seen it, click the link, put your name and email address in there, and we will get that out to you. I want to go back and just one more time remind you as we're going through these slides, if you have any questions, even if it's not related to the slides that we're on, something just pops in your head and you would like more information about it, please put the question in the Q&A panel. We will answer those as we see them throughout the webinar today. And that actually makes this a lot of fun. You know, Adam and I are on these webinars and, you know, at a certain point, if there's not questions coming in, we start to just wonder if maybe it's not just me and him and the entire earth is just frozen or something. So let us know that that you're there with us. And we love to get those questions. It makes it a lot more fun. Now, today, we're going to talk about choosing the right partner for your new healthcare business. And I guess the obvious choice is very clear, Adam. I'll let you talk about the main ingredient of starting a business like that, and that's a partnership with American Business Systems.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we are going to be talking about many, many different partners that you'll have access to, but your primary partner is, of course, us. And the reason why we keep presenting it as we are your partner is because we do things a little bit differently. I don't know if you've been researching us much or not. Maybe you just found us just recently, but you know, we are listed on a lot of those franchise websites. You know, if you're looking at different franchises and you put in, you know, hey, I want to spend under 30,000. I want something in healthcare. We're going to come up on that list. But we are actually not a traditional franchise. And so what we do is we help you literally launch your own startup company. So you get to be an independent business owner with your own brand, your own logo, your own identity. It means that you have a lot of flexibility in how you run your business. You're able to sign up any medical providers anywhere in the United States. There are no restrictions whatsoever. That also means a lot of people like this. You do not have to pay us any royalty fees. You are contracting directly with the doctors that you're signing up, and they pay you directly for the work that you're doing, and you pay us no royalty fees. So when we say we're a partner, we are providing you all kinds of resources. We are, you know, doing several different things to guide and educate the doctors on the fact that they are really, really going to benefit by using your company to do a lot of the stuff that we're going to be talking about. So that's why we say we're your partner in business, because you are an independent business owner. It's just that you're leaning on our support team for all kinds of, you know, marketing assistance and ongoing technical support and all kinds of heavy lifting that we're doing on the back end for you. So hopefully that makes sense, but we're going to get into that right now, where we start talking about all of the different partners and services that you'll have at your disposal as we go here.
Yeah. So one of the important things to understand when you choose American Business Systems to help you launch your medical billing business, as Adam said, you get access to our support services, our support website, all the technology and services. And as you can see with this graphic here, you're able to offer a comprehensive suite of solutions to the doctors. But what we want to talk about today is what those solutions mean, what the value is to the doctors, and what partners we have behind the scenes that you get access to. This is something that is not easy to see on the front end of our website. So we're opening the curtain a little bit, letting you in behind the scenes, and you're going to get to meet a lot of our partners that we work with, and we're really proud of it. We've developed these relationships over almost 30 years. So today we're going to start with iClaim and EMRX. So iClaim is our billing and practice management system. This is the core software and service that you're going to provide to private practice doctors. The whole idea here is you're filing the medical claims for the doctor, and in turn, the doctor pays you a percentage of the reimbursed claims. Well, how do you file claims? You use our iClaim software. If you have not had a demo of our iClaim platform, please reach out to the rep that invited you to this webinar. We'd be happy to give you a guided tour software demo. It's a lot of fun. But iClaim is the core service. That's where you're going to generate the most revenue. That's where the doctors are going to see the biggest increase in their revenue. And by the way, most doctors increase their revenue 20 to 30% using the claims filing service. That doesn't even consider any of the other things that we do for the doctors. So big increases in revenue. iClaim is our core service, and EMRX is another added layer of awesomeness on top of the billing and practice management system. EMRX is what's called an electronic health record system. And think about this, when you go to see the doctor sits down across from you, and back in the old days, they would open that manila folder and they would write all your information in your chart as they talked with you about whatever was wrong, the reason for your visit. Well, these days, at least we hope, the doctors are not using that paper chart anymore. Now they're using a computer or a laptop, or ideally an iPad, where they're just typing right on the screen and getting this information for your visit right into the system. Our system is fully integrated. iClaim and EMRX, the billing, the practice management, the electronic health records, all the charting, the prescriptions, everything is connected in one big system. Now, most of you who have looked into our information probably already know about the services, but do you know about behind the services, who our partner is? And Adam, I'm going to let you talk a little bit about this amazing partnership that we have.
Yes, and as a side note, for those of you that have been looking into this business for a little while, I don't know if you noticed, but we recently completely overhauled our graphics. Not only have we overhauled our website that you saw, but all of the marketing materials that we provide to you as an owner have all been completely refreshed and have a really nice, modern, clean look. And these are materials that what you're looking at today, these are materials that you actually get in print form, and we have them online as well, where we will customize these flyers and add your name and logo and contact information to these flyers that you're getting. So what you're looking at is our brand new flyers. I just wanted to point that out. They look really great. And a really cool guy redesigned those for us.
Yeah, somebody who really knew what they were doing, and obviously incredibly talented. I even heard he's extremely handsome as well.
Yeah, I mean, he must have charged millions to redo these.
You would hope. You would hope. Right now, people are very confused. Adam's insinuating that I was the one that designed the new flyers. And so we actually based this in part on the new website design. So we wanted to give a cohesive look and feel for our front end website, our support website, all of our marketing materials. So everything is familiar with the same colors and the same design. So these, I think, turned out really well. So let's talk a little bit about the partnership, iClaim and EMRX. Who are we working with here? Boy, I wonder how we could guess.
Yeah, so we're partnered with a company called NextGen Healthcare, and they have been around longer than we have. They've been around a long, long time. And we partnered with them because they actually are very, very unique in the market, in that all of the different platforms that the different people interact with were all developed by the same development team under one roof, which is very unique in the market. So the iClaim system does practice management. It does billing, of course. The EMRX system is the medical record system that the doctors use. There is a patient portal that the patients interact with that also has a telemedicine feature built into it. And then there's also a clearinghouse that was developed by the same team. Almost all competitors that I can think of are using third-party clearinghouses. And it basically just means that there's not the connectivity with all of the different insurance companies and different companies that you have to connect with is not nearly as good as what we can do. So if you want to if you want to get a demo of how that works and why it's such a big deal that we are our own clearinghouse, we can definitely show you how that works and get into that. The other thing with this platform is they have received numerous awards that we're going to be talking about here. So their most recent award here is their best in class practice management for smaller to medium-sized groups of physicians, private practices. So this system was specifically developed for the small to medium-sized private practice kind of target market. And that's exactly where our owners target in their efforts when they're building this business. But there's no shortage of small to medium-sized practices out there that are really, really struggling with all kinds of different issues that NextGen, this platform, can help out with. As a matter of fact, I did want to just point out, Jason mentioned a minute ago about, surely doctors are not using paper anymore. Well, I got some news for you. There's a lot of them that still are. So I just talked with one of our owners a couple of days ago, and she landed a client that is 2 doctors in a practice. They have about 10,000 patients that they see, and they were still using paper in the exam rooms, paper folders to do their medical record system. So there's a lot of problems with that. I mean, first of all, it's just highly inefficient, compared to using like an iPad or something. But not only that, but they're getting dinged from Medicare. Like Medicare is paying them a lot less money because they've actually came out with these rules that said, hey, you need to be using an electronic system. And if you're not, we're going to pay you less money. So they're just willingly just taking less money and using paper. And it was just a mess. So they're super excited. They signed a new deal with one of our owners, and they're going to get them on the NextGen platform. So it's going to be night and day difference when they get that thing going.
That's a huge account too. That's a very large account for one of our owners to pick up with 10,000 patients coming through. I want to just sort of pull the pin on the grenade here with all of the awards currently that NextGen holds. NextGen actually has a whole page on their website dedicated to awards. When I was putting these slides together, I mean, I had to draw the line somewhere. I could only put so many awards in here. In particular, the Best in Class awards, NextGen has won this for the platform over the last 4 years. This is not some fly-by-night thing. These are really important, prestigious awards in the industry, and you can be confident that you're offering a system that is highly valuable to the doctors. In fact, over half of the doctors that do a demo of our system move forward with an implementation. And I want you to really think about that. If you have any background in sales and marketing, if you understand sales processes, for our team to close over half of the doctors that are on a demo is an unheard of closing ratio. If you have a 10% closing ratio, you're a rock star in your sales and marketing endeavors. Over 50% closing ratio on our demos. So we're beating the drum over and over on this, but it's really important to understand that we are partnered with a company and a system that is state-of-the-art, cutting-edge, award-winning, and it's going to be highly desirable to the physicians. Adam, do you want to talk a little bit about the layered systems that are on top of the NextGen system?
Yeah, so we are going to be talking a little bit more about these other partners that you see here as we go, but it's really cool because we have actually introduced some of these partners to NextGen, and they have been able to connect their systems directly. So some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about with Doctable and DocVacate, TSI, it's built, literally their development team for NextGen built these platforms into the NextGen platform. So it's just there. It's just like, as soon as you log into the iClaim system, all of these different services and different systems that you see here are already built right in. The other thing, just as a side note, is these other little ancillary partners that you see here, you can offer these services and platforms to other doctors using other systems. So you do not have to require a doctor to use the next-gen platform if they're not ready to do so. So I get that question a lot, like, how do I convince the doctor to change systems? Well, we're going to do everything in our power to sell them on sell them on the system by helping you do the demos and all the other good stuff that we do for you. But ultimately, if you may find a doctor who's using some other system and they have one little thing that's bugging them about it that Doctable can solve, or DocVacate or something like that. So you have a way to get business from doctors, even if they don't use all of the integrated platforms that we have. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, the features and the add-on features, we cover just about every area of value that the doctor could get from a platform like this. It really is an incredible system. I want to stop here for just a second and answer one of our questions that we have, because this goes right in line with what we're talking about. Is there a monthly or annual fee for support services? In other words, if you become an ABS owner, what are the costs to offer these services and to run your business? And is ABS charging you anything after the initial investment? So if you like, Adam, I'll take this question. I think it's a really good one and appropriate for this part of the conversation. American Business Systems has always had the philosophy that we want to partner with the best-in-class technology and service providers in the healthcare industry, and we want to pass along those cutting edge services and technology to our owners and to the physician clients of our owners. So instead of going out and developing our own software platform, which is insanely expensive, and it's also very expensive to keep up. And when you build a platform like that, you're stuck with the platform. You have to start from scratch when technology changes, and you can only build so many features onto the platform that you use to build that software. So ABS has always partnered with the best companies to do this. Because of that, we have been able to monetize ourselves, and the revenue that we generate comes from our partnerships, not from our ABS owners. So what does that mean? That means when a doctor chooses to use our iClaim platform, the doctor pays NextGen, and we get a small percentage of the monthly subscription, which is $254 a month. We get that behind the scenes, and that's how American Business Systems is monetized. The beauty of this is American Business Systems isn't going to knock on your door as an ABS owner and try to get a piece of your billing income. We're not going to charge you support fees. We're not going to make you renew your contract with American Business Systems. In fact, you will never pay another dime to American Business Systems. Our entire revenue base comes from our partnerships with NextGen and some of the other partners that we're going to talk about in the webinar today. So for me, being a certified franchise consultant and knowing a lot about other franchise models, this is a very unconventional model, but it gives a huge advantage to the owner because you're not strapped with that royalty payment. And trust me, that royalty payment can start to really feel unbalanced when you start making a lot of money and you're paying 5 to 10% gross out of your revenue from your company back to the franchisor. You're never going to have to do that with American Business Systems. So great question, and I felt like it was appropriate to add there.
Yeah, and hopefully you can see that we're committed to helping you with the marketing and getting clients, because we make money when you do. And it's very much a win-win-win situation for everybody. Absolutely.
Adam, do you want to talk just a little bit about what Doctable does on top of the NextGen system?
Yeah, so Doctable, it's kind of filling in the gaps for systems for several different little features that a lot of systems don't have built into it, and that are very important, a lot more important than they used to be. Let's put it that way. So Doctable has all kinds of different things. Most importantly, it has a reputation management platform built in, so that you can actually encourage patients to, give the practice reviews, and it helps monitor reviews from patients so that they can track their reputation online. A lot of doctors have no idea how to do that. There's a secure patient communication system through texting, patient reminders through texting and email. There's a virtual waiting room where they can screen patients virtually They have all kinds of digital forms, like all of the patient intake forms are digitized now for them, and an online scheduler as well. So some of those features the next gen platform already had, and some of them it did not. But yeah, there's a whole kind of slew of little things that a lot of the competing softwares do not have at all. And so it really does kind of fill in the gaps with some of that stuff. So
Right.
yeah.
You can kind of think of this as a layer on top of the next gen iClaim system. It just gives more bells and whistles and enhancements, and some of these are super high value to the doctors. I'm going to talk just a little bit about our next service, which is called Choice Pay. Choice Pay is a really cool service. It allows the doctor to give a monthly payment option to a patient that owes a larger balance. So, think about that situation where you go into the doctor and you have a procedure or treatment and you go to the little window to pay and they say, oh, hey, we're really sorry. Insurance only covers 80% of this, and this was a really expensive procedure, so you're going to owe $500. And what do we all say? Oh, bill me later, right? We're not going to pay that right now. Well, studies have shown that less than half of the patients that leave without paying something to the doctor are going to ever pay a dime to the physician. So the doctor really needs to collect that money right there. But what if the patient can't pay it? Choice Pay gives the doctor the ability to right there at the window, set up a recurring payment agreement and draft the patient's account for a comfortable monthly payment. This is a really simple solution to avoid patient collections. And Adam, I'll let you talk a little bit about the partners that we have to allow the doctor this benefit.
Yeah, so we are partnered with two of the biggest merchant services companies in general with TSIS, but also specifically with the healthcare industry. So we recently partnered with Rectangle Health, if you want to go look them up, and they specifically target medical practices. That's what they do, merchant services for medical practices. So you can offer this service to any doctor with any system. It doesn't matter what system they have. And of course, merchant services, the Choice Pay system is built right into the iClaim platform as well. So you have a lot of different options for being able to make some recurring revenue on this service that way.
It's great to have options because every scenario you go into with a potential client, they may need solutions that are different from the doctor next door. So we do customized solutions for every single doctor. And it's really nice to have all of these different partners because we have a wide variety of solutions. It's not a one size fits all. You're not just stuck with one platform and one set of benefits. We've got a lot of different options for the doctors. Okay, so we have one question that I think we can take live here. I would encourage everyone who's on the demo right now, the webinar, go to the Q&A panel. You can see the little button right there in your controls. If you have questions as we're going through here, hey, this is what we're here for. Type a question in. We'll answer these as we go through live. And the question that we're going to take right now is, what is the average time frame for training? Adam, do you want to talk a little bit about our training process?
Yeah, sure. This question is from Alita. I hope I said that right. She's asking, what is the average time frame for the training? So your training, when you become an ABS licensee, is, I mentioned earlier, everything from start to finish is done online now. So it's a very, very COVID friendly. So you can do it from the comfort of your own home. It is done with a live instructor over a GoToMeeting. And it is 10 modules that are 90 minutes apiece. So we're talking about 15 hours of your initial training total before you receive your CMRM certificate that we talked about. That can take an average of about 3 weeks or so, depending on your schedule. So we do work around your schedule. And it is, like I said, it is done privately with you and a live instructor. So we're able to kind of get it done around whatever your schedule is. So usually about 3 weeks or so to get through that. And then, once that's done, we give you a custom marketing plan that we help you out with every step of the way. You start building the business right out of the gate, after those 3 weeks or so. So, and to tag on to that, it usually takes someone a couple of months after the training is done to get their first contract, if that was going to be the next question from somebody. So yeah, sometimes the average is about 60, 90 days. It can take a little bit longer. Some people do this part-time, when they get done with the training, and that's fine. We can show you how to build this business part-time on the side, but obviously it's going to take you a little bit longer, to get your name out there and get those contracts, but it's definitely doable. So yeah.
I want to add one more thing about the training. You're actually going to be working with Cynthia Anderson, who is one of our extraordinarily successful ABS owners. American Business Systems has always had the mindset that we want to hire from within. As much as we can, we want to utilize the talent and experience that we have with our successful owners. So you're going to meet with training, with support, with people working within the ABS corporate. You're going to see successful ABS owners, and you're not working with low-level support people who don't have any idea what they're talking about. You're always going to be working with people who have a lot of experience, have built successful companies like this using ABS's strategies, and we feel that gives a major advantage. Cynthia is an absolute rock star. You'll love working with her. I'll add on one more quick thing. Our training comes with an unconditional 30-day money-back guarantee. There's no other franchise on earth that has that. So Alita, thank you for the question. And we're gonna move along to a couple more services here. The next service is called Quick Collect. And Quick Collect is, I call it a sister service of Choice Pay. This would be for doctors who do not have a payment processing option like Choice Pay, and the patient collections start to pile up. Oh, bill me later, and then guess where that bill goes? Right in the trash, and then most people never pay it. So Quick Collect helps the doctor go after those patient collections. Now, one question I get all the time is, oh, I don't want to be doing collections. I don't want to call people trying to, beat the money out of them. And oh my gosh, none of us want to do that ever. My brother used to work in collections, and I remember the stories. It was not a lot of fun. But Quick Collect is actually, you might think of this as collection light. It's not quite the aggressive, harassing calls and things that we think of when we think about collections. Quick Collect starts with an automated process. And you can take the patient collections that the doctor has, you can upload that information into the Quick Collect system, and it starts a fully automated process that starts very gently at nudging the patients for the repayment. It gradually escalates to the, final notice, past due, and all of that. And then if the doctor chooses, they can escalate that to phone calls, and very rarely, but they could also escalate that to attorney litigation, and very, very seldom do doctors choose to do that. It's a great service. If a doctor has a pile of patient collections, we can help them get those recovered. It's way cheaper than a traditional collection service. And correct me if I'm wrong, Adam, but I think the recovery rate is around 40%. 40% of all accounts, I believe, are recovered. I think that's a statistic, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so it's a great service. And that service is backed by two different partners that we have. And Adam, I'll let you just chat for a moment about the partners.
Yeah, so it's the same deal with this service. We have a couple of different partners based on what the needs of the practice are. So that's one thing that our support team is going to do for every one of these services, is we are going to really ask you a lot of questions about the practice, and you're going to be able to gather this information. We teach you how to do a practice analysis, so you'll be able to know, what their real needs are. So we can point you in the direction of the right partner to engage with, so that you can benefit the practice the most, and of course, so that you can make money. I do want to clarify, just in case you missed it, this service, along with all the other ancillary services, you don't do any of the work. I just want to make that clear. You're not doing any collecting, anything else that you'll see us talking about here. The only service that we train you to do the work is the iClaim medical billing service. Someone on your end is going to be processing those medical claims, whether it's you or someone that you hire. But everything else, all this ancillary stuff, is done by our partners or ABS. And of course, you get to share in the revenues on these services. So we're going to have to really pick it up here. It's already.
We are. Yeah, we're nowhere close to being finished. We've got a lot of great partners. A quick question from Bill. We can answer this one really quickly. Bill is asking, are there additional costs to the doctor's office for some of these extra services and extra partners we're talking about, like Choice Pay and TSIS? And is it under the NextGen umbrella, or are these separate charges? And Bill, that would be a very difficult question to answer quickly. What I would suggest is, for anyone who would like to see a lot more detail on the cost for these services, we have something called our research guide. And contact your rep, your ABS rep, whoever invited you to this webinar, and they'd be happy to deliver a 60-page PDF that goes into all the details about the cost for these services. And there's too much to discuss. I mean, we're not even halfway through our partners. And so we can't go into all that detail, but most of these add-on services do have some type of transactional cost or monthly subscription for the doctor. But remember, you're only presenting solutions to the doctor that they have an acute need for. So it's not like you're coming in trying to convince them to have all these extra add-on things. You're going to uncover specific things the doctor needs. And if they want to solve that problem, there's a small fee associated with it. So thanks for your question, Bill. We're going to talk a little bit about CodeWrite now. This is another one of the sort of sister services that we have. CodeWrite is a service that has a dedicated certified coder who is an actual real live coder who has a high degree of expertise. And they look at each and every patient encounter. They look at the claim, they look at the diagnosis code and procedure code and the chart notes and medical history, and they make an expert determination of the most optimal code to use for that particular encounter. And then they pass that along to you or whoever you have doing your billing, so the doctor gets the most optimal reimbursement. It is an amazing service, and it's one that when doctors choose to use it, the revenue goes up even more. We've seen doctors improve their revenue using CodeWrite another 20, 30, sometimes 40%, because it's so important to have the correct codes on these claims. So here's our partners associated with CodeWrite. Adam, you want to give any quick nod to some of these partners we've had for quite some time, and we've got a really strong relationship with them.
Yeah, some people on the webinar today might be thinking, wait a second, I thought that was part of what I would be doing. Don't I do coding? No, you don't. We actually take that part off of your hands, and that's really a big benefit for you. You don't have to go through 2 years of coding school. We have the coders that will do the work. Now, the system, the NextGen platform, the iClaim platform, we actually have the coding database built in and maintained by us behind the scenes. So anytime there's updates to the coding database, we're doing that automatically for you. So every morning when your doctors log into the system, they have the latest, greatest version of all the medical codes. And so because of that, a lot of doctors don't need help with coding at all. So you're not even going to have to offer them this service. But if you do have a doctor that comes to you and says, you know, hey, I got a lot of different codes I'm trying to manage. I don't have a coder on staff. Can you help me with that? That's when we would offer the CodeWrite service, and you're making additional money on top of the percentage that you're charging them for doing the billing work. So really, really cool. These are the two companies that we're partnered with. One of them, AviaCode, is more for much, much larger volume, and CodeQuick is a little bit more for one-off kind of, you know, doing a claim here and there and that sort of thing. So that's what that's for. But again, we'll direct you on the proper partner for every situation.
And this is, if you weren't watching really closely, you might think this was the same slide, but I just changed it. The same two coding partners that we use, AviaCode and CodeQuick, they also offer the service that we call Audit Guard. And this is you might think of this as a quality control audit. So what happens with this is we will pull usually 30 to 50 patient charts, and we will send those to a certified coder, and they will do a deep dive into those files and uncover some of the problems with those files and help give the doctor action steps to take to correct those problems in the future. This is really helpful because sometimes they uncover problems in these files that can get the doctor in a lot of trouble. You know, even for instance, HIPAA violations. I think a HIPAA violation can be up to $10,000 penalty per infraction. And boy, that adds up fast. So Audit Guard is a way to protect against that. We've got the same two awesome coding partners, AviaCode and CodeQuick, associated with that. Our next service is virtual care. And we probably should accelerate just a little bit talking about this one. Honestly, we could spend an entire hour talking about virtual care because it's just such a cool service. But Adam, maybe just a quick second on what virtual care is and our partnership with Achieve Health.
Yes, it's like if you guys have heard of telemedicine or e-visits, where the doctor treats the patient and they're at their home with a webcam. This is like that, but on steroids. So it goes much further than just communicating with a video chat with the patient. It actually does real-time monitoring of the patient's vitals, and there's actual devices like blood pressure and glucose levels and everything that gets sent to the patient's home. And then we have a real person that actually monitors that data and records it into the system for the doctors. So it's very cool. It's for people that can't get out of their house, they're infirmed or COVID or whatever, they can't get out of their house, but they need to still be monitored. That's what this service is. And it's really big right now, really huge. So Achieve Health is the partner for that. Yeah.
An important thing to take away from virtual care is this can be a massive revenue generator. We consider it kind of an ancillary service, but if you get in the right types of specialty medicine, there can be an enormous amount of revenue for you as an ABS owner. The next service, we're going to talk about Compliancy Guard, and this fits in very nicely with our Audit Guard service because this helps the doctor and their staff maintain ongoing reporting and compliance in a cloud-based system so that if they're ever audited by a private insurance carrier or Medicare or Medicaid, it's a one-button report printout and they can give the auditor everything that they need to pass that audit. It's a really cool service. If a doctor does not already have a system like this, it's a no-brainer. It's inexpensive, it's easy to get set up, and it prompts the doctor and their staff throughout the year to keep up to date with all these different compliancy metrics. You want to talk any about Compliancy Group, our partner here, Adam?
Yeah, this is specifically for HIPAA violations. So the government came out with the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, which basically just is something they come up with to maintain the integrity of patient data. Don't leave it laying around for people to see other people's private data. And, it used to be a really big problem with paper. It still is kind of a problem for doctors that are using non-cloud-based systems. Sometimes they've got patient data on their laptop and their laptop gets stolen and they get in big trouble if that happens. So this compliancy group, what it does is they'll take a look at all the different patient charts and make recommendations to the doctor and basically train the staff, like Jason said, through a web-based platform to keep everyone up to date on all the HIPAA rules and regulations. A lot of practices, if you walk in right now and say, hey, can I speak to your HIPAA manager? They're just like, what? HIPAA manager? What's that? They've got a HIPAA compliancy binder that's got cobwebs and spiders on it, and they haven't looked at it in like 3 years, So that's what we do is they can do a web-based HIPAA compliancy training. And if they have new staff coming in, turnover, it's very easy for them to go to this web-based platform and get retrained on HIPAA compliancy. So that can cost doctors thousands and thousands of dollars if they do something wrong with HIPAA. So that's what that is.
Okay, so we currently do not have any questions in the Q&A panel. So Adam, we must be doing a really good job with this information if we're covering all the bases. But for those of you who are with us today, any questions that you have about the ABS business model, put them in here. We still have about 10 minutes left in the presentation today, and we'd be happy to answer any questions. Click the button, type it in, and we'll take those live. Next service we're going to talk about is Audit Guard. This is a really interesting service. It's definitely a little bit off to the side of our core services, but basically what this does is it helps the doctor market to their patients. That's the primary use for it. And this is not emails, this is not social media marketing. These are actual mail pieces that come in the US Postal Service mail into the patient's mailbox. So think about things like flu shot reminders, back to school physicals, COVID testing, all those kinds of things that the doctor can promote to their owners that helps drives more appointments and more appointment traffic. And that increases revenue for the doctor. And we've been partnered with send out cards forever. Adam, you want to talk just a little bit about send out cards?
I mean, you pretty much nailed it. It's simple. We have all the campaigns already created for you. So all you have to do is put a patient in there, and you can click a button and they will get a series of marketing cards for, coming on behalf of the practice. Same goes for, you can utilize this service to market your own business as well to doctors. So if you have a doctor prospect, you can put that doctor into the platform, and we have a campaign that, already created for that as well, that tells them about your services and such, like what we're talking about today. So pretty cool little marketing tool.
It is a cool marketing tool. The next service to talk about is Dentimax. It's a great partner. Now, our owners can offer billing services to just about any healthcare provider that you can possibly imagine. I mean, ambulatory services, specialty medicine, durable medical equipment, on and on and on and on. But what about dental? We can offer services, billing services to dentists as well. The one thing that I would say is the difference between dental billing and medical billing mostly has to do with the amount of revenue that you can generate. You are going to generate less revenue for your business filing dental claims versus filing medical claims. I think that's important to note. Of course, a client is a client. So if you can generate revenue, generate revenue. But we teach our owners to focus on a target market of specialty medicine providers, because you're going to make a lot more money doing relatively the same amount of work. And also, those specialty medicine doctors are going to get stronger benefits from the system, and the revenue is going to increase more using our services. So in other words, if you know your target customer, you want to go after that customer, but we can offer services to anyone and everyone. So Adam, anything to add on our Dentimax partnership?
I think you pretty much hit right on it. It's going after the dental market. We can do that now. So yeah.
Yep, easy solution. This is actually the last one, there toward the middle. I was wondering if we were going to be able to get through all these. But this is another ancillary service. Credentialing is something that, most people who aren't in healthcare don't even know what that is. And Adam, I'll probably let you talk just a little bit about credentialing and our partner First Credentialing, because this is a little bit of a, kind of oddball, but it's a very important service to the doctors.
Yeah, let me just simplify it. It's doctors that want to begin accepting new insurances and get on new insurance payers plans. That's basically what credentialing is. And there's a lot of paperwork and red tape they got to go through to get, checked out and make sure that they are who they say they are, and tons of paperwork. And it's a big process. So it has become its own industry called credentialing. That's what that is. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. And that's our partner that we're using. We actually have another partner as well. First Credentialing is our primary partner for that. And again, they do all the work for you. You're just helping them, kind of, introducing them to the doctors, and they kind of take it over from there and do all the work. And of course you get paid. And again, that research guide that Jason mentioned will talk about all the different, potential revenues you can generate on all of these different services. So go check that out.
Yeah, one thing about the credentialing that we hear all the time is just how incredibly time consuming it is for the doctor and their staff. And having a third-party credentialing service is a huge help. Just someone off to the side that manages that. So we've covered a lot of ground. We have a lot of different services, 12 different core services that we offer. And we've talked about our partners that are associated with those services. So we would like for you to think about American Business Systems. When you make an investment with ABS, not only are you partnering with a company with 3 decades of experience in this industry with revenue cycle management solutions, you are also tapping into our network of partners and licensees who have expertise and solutions in just about every aspect of private practice management that you could imagine. In fact, what we like to say is, if a doctor has a question, can you help me with this? you should probably just say yes, because it would be extraordinarily rare for us to see something that the doctor needed that we would not have a solution, technology, or service partner to help with that solution. And I'm going to throw everything on the slide here. We got warp speed coming at you. Here's all of the partners and all of the services that are included in one slide. We're super proud to be able to offer these alliances that we've developed, and it really does set you apart in the industry to not only be an expert and a trusted advisor, but to be able to offer these services that most little, mom and pop type billing companies, they're not going to have this kind of firepower in their arsenal. So Adam, anything to add before we go into Q&A and wrap it up?
Yeah, I'm so glad that you just mentioned the mom and pop billing companies. I want to encourage everyone on the webinar today. I'd like to give you a little homework. What I want you to do is when this webinar is over, I want you to Google medical billing services in your area. I want you to Google it. I want you to find out who's out there. And you're going to find one of two things. You're going to find a lot of results, as you will in any part of the country. There's a lot of people offering medical billing. You're going to find a lot of results. I want you to start clicking around on those results. And what you'll see is you can very quickly see it's a mom and pop organization. You can tell it's a crummy looking website. You can just kind of tell it's a mom and pop organization. You will probably find a couple of companies that are maybe more established, maybe bigger, but they're going after the really huge accounts. They're going after the hospitals, they're going after the very large practices. That's not who you're going to be going after, at least in the beginning. Remember in the beginning of this webinar, I said, you're going after the small to medium-sized private practices. So you really are going to be competing against those mom and pops. My point is, if you take a look at their websites, you will see that they only do one thing: medical billing. In Texas, we call that a one-trick pony, okay? What you have here, this screenshot that you're looking at, is you have a whole plethora of services and solutions that you can offer to medical practices outside of billing that's really going to set you apart from the competition. You really are going to be much more of a revenue cycle management consulting firm than just another medical biller off the street, some little mom and pop medical biller. So the marketing materials that we give you, the website that we give you, it's really going to set you apart. And I want to encourage you to go check it out. Check out your area. Yeah. So
it's a good point. We've got another question here that we're going to answer in a moment. Any final questions that you have about any of the topics today in the webinar, or any questions that you'd like to answer to get answered here in the next couple of minutes, feel free to add that in the Q&A panel. We'll spend just a minute or two answering questions. We've got one here on the screen. Is this something we can do while traveling, possibly out of the country? So are you able to run a business like this from anywhere? Absolutely, positively, yes. All of our systems are browser-based systems, and what that means is, just like your online banking, you log into a website, and as long as you have a web browser and an internet connection, you can be on a Windows machine, you can be on an Apple computer, you can be on an iPad, an Android tablet, Microsoft Surface, Google Chromebook, doesn't matter. You need a web browser and an internet connection, and you are up and running. So you can be in a different country and filing claims and running reports and monitoring your business, and as your business grows, your employees, billers, and even office managers and things like that. So absolutely, we appreciate the question. And Sabrina, we got another question that popped in here. This goes right along with what we were just saying. If I invest in your platform, can I hire others to do the billing work? Absolutely. Our more successful owners, the owners that have grown their client base to 10 clients, 20 clients, 50 clients, 100 clients, and we have one guy who has over 400 clients. You're not going to be able to file that many claims by yourself. You're going to need some help. We can help you find good medical billers, but we can even help train your friends, your family members to be able to do the billing on the system with you. And so you can, just like American Business Systems, you can keep it in the family. So Sabrina, thank you for your question, and absolutely we can do that. Appreciate it. Well, Adam, Boy, do we want to handle one more question here? Top of the hour?
Yeah, I mean,
Let's
are we
jump
done?
in.
Looks like, look, I'm looking at the slides. Looks like we're basically done here.
We have a couple more slides to wrap up, but let's go ahead and answer Bill's question. Good question, Bill.
All right, so Bill is asking, is it realistic to think that there are a lot of practices that don't already use similar services? That's a great question. And what we have found is the answer is no. They're really not utilizing a lot of the things that we've got. I don't know why that is. It's just maybe they simply don't have the time to even research how to get a hold of some of this stuff that we have that's going to improve their practices. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Jason, but.
Well, a lot of it, I think, is a lot of billing companies focus only on the billing and the coding because that's really where the primary revenue is. Mm-hmm. We feel like it's better to be a full service solution provider because it's kind of like the old adage, more hooks or more harpoons in the whale, right? The more harpoons you have in there, the less likely that client is to leave you. So if you can help the doctor with their billing, but also come in and help with their collections and help with all the other different services, all of a sudden you become a vital part of that office and they're not going anywhere, especially when you consider the revenue going way up. So I think that other billing companies just focus on where the main revenue generator is and, they don't get into some of the other services.
I have one more thought on that. I have one more thought on that. Just talking about the medical billing software alone, you may think, well, medical billing software has got to be pretty similar, right? And similar results. And we have found that to be not the case at all. There are tons of software systems that are not integrated, not cloud-based, and really don't get anywhere near the kind of results that our owners are seeing with the iClaim platform. Like we're able to reduce their claim rejections down to less than 2%, where the national average is 20-30% rejected claims. So we're getting their rejections reduced in almost all cases, getting them paid a lot faster. With our system, they get paid in as little as 7 days with our system. The national average time it takes to get paid is 30+ days. So just the medical billing service alone, our software really kicks butt in that department compared to a lot of the other ones. So
much better results.
Yeah.
We should probably move along and we've got a few slides to wrap up. There's one more question about marketing, and we actually have entire webinars dedicated to talking about our marketing strategies. So if you'd like to reach out to your rep, they'd be happy to direct you to those webinars or just schedule a call to talk about the marketing strategies. But we'd like to wrap up this webinar. Thanks to everybody for joining us. If you're ready to start your business with American Business Systems, it's pretty simple to work with us. Here are the due diligence steps that we help prospective ABS owners walk through. We've already talked about this, the research guide. If you haven't seen it, email your rep, they can get you a copy of it. Definitely hit our YouTube channel. All of these webinars are recorded and the videos are posted to our YouTube channel. So every single week you can catch the replay. Our owner reference list. As a certified franchise consultant, I can tell you one of the best ways to research a business is to talk with owners who are already running a business in that industry. And we can give you a long list of successful ABS owners that are happy to talk with you and answer your questions. If you'd like that list, reach out to your rep. We mentioned this as well. If you'd like a demo of the iClaim platform and you'd like to see some of those amazing features from NextGen and our other partners, definitely send your rep an email, and your ABS rep would be happy to do a screen share just like this and show you the system live. And then if you're ready, you've got your funds set aside and you're ready to move forward, you can get a purchase agreement. We use a document signing service. We'll just send you a link, you fill it out, and then we'll set a funding date and we'll get your first training session with Cynthia scheduled. We make it easy. Reach out to your rep and they can walk you through that. Don't forget, unconditional 30-day money-back guarantee. We give you a full 30 days to go through the training. We ship the business package out to you. You can jump in the ABS pool and swim around and make sure the water is the right temperature. If for any reason you're not excited to start your business, we'll refund 100% of your investment. If you have any more questions that we didn't get to, If you don't know who your rep is, if you're just really confused, call the 866 number there or send an email to info@absystems.com and we'll help you find your rep and make sure that you get all your questions answered. That's what we're here for. We've been doing this for almost 3 decades. Now, next week, don't forget to tune in. The topic will be what business can see return on investment in less than 1 year. Newsflash, it's American Business Systems. It's one of the very few. So we appreciate, yeah, I spoiled everything. We appreciate everybody joining us today. Thanks for spending time in your busy afternoon. And we will see you next time. Cheers.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks, everybody.